1993, Squaresoft released Secret of Mana, a game that defined the action RPG genre. Its fast-paced gameplay, amazing soundtrack, and innovative weapon advancement system thrilled many enthusiasts and left them wanting more. It was by luck then that Squaresoft announced the development of Seiken Densetsu 3, a sequel to the game that was planned for a North American release under the title Secret of Mana 2. Several gaming publications covered the game. It was eventually released in Japan in September of 1995, but questions soon began to arise in regard to when it would be released in North America. In December the same year, Nintendo Power Volume 79 unveiled the heartbreaking news that the game wouldn't be released outside of Japan at all. The article cited technical issues that would have made the game too costly to produce, and several of the game's developers later confirmed the same. One of the main producers on the series also added that the size of the game created data issues that would have made it impossible to properly localize. Fans that had loved Secret of Mana then grew despondent. RPG fanatics got some amazing news in 2000 though, when an online group completed an English translation of the game. This made it playable via emulation and allowed many fans to experience the game in English for the first time. It was at that point that I first played the game, and what an experience it was. One of the elements that set Secret of Mana 2 apart from its predecessor was the game's class change system. At 2 points in the game, each of your party's characters has the opportunity to perform a class change. They do so by choosing whether to progress in a light or dark path. This choice is incredibly important too, because the selection determines the set of skills and statistical improvements the character will receive. Because the characters have 2 separate class change events, they each have 4 possible class archetypes. For instance, at level 18, Kevin gets the first opportunity to do a class change. If he picks Light, he becomes a monk, allowing him to gain some healing magic and a spell that makes him stronger during the day. If he chooses Dark at level 18, he'll become a Bashkar, giving him no spells whatsoever, but making him more physically strong. At level 38, he'll be able to class change again, choosing between light and dark regardless of what class he is already. If he goes light twice, for instance, he'll become a God Hand, giving him a new spell that can fill up the tech gauge of an ally in addition to his existing spells. On the other hand, if he selects dark twice, he'll become a dervish with incredible power and the Moonsaber spell that increases an ally's power and allows them to drain life by attacking enemies. In my mind, the class change system was Secret of Mana 2's greatest single innovation. This level of customization enabled each player to build a unique party that differed from other players, and several of the characters could be transformed in very diverse ways. As far as combat goes, Secret of Mana 2 had much in common with Secret of Mana, but does have a few twists. Gone are the attack recharging gauges, replaced instead with visible character animations when a party member is ready to attack again. Also, each character has a rage gauge of sorts that charges up as a battle progresses. By pressing the B button when it charges to the appropriate level, the character will unleash a special attack that does extra damage. There are actually multiple tiers of special attacks too, and those that are executed when the gauges are completely full have very impressive visual animations and sometimes unique characteristics. For instance, some special attacks will damage all enemies on the screen at the same time. Another awesome facet of the combat is that each of the characters is just more distinct than those in Secret of Mana. For instance, some of the characters even attack twice in each combat round. My personal favorite character is Kevin, who is incredibly strong and has a double attack. In addition, at nighttime he transforms into a werewolf, increasing his overall power immensely. The game's use of the day-night cycle for this and other things is also one of the most innovative aspects of the game. Graphically, the sprites in Secret of Mana 2 are beautiful, and the developers clearly prioritize creating awesome animations for each of the characters. The spells in this game are also quite incredible, even though they suffer from some of the same drawbacks as Secret of Mana, namely their usage is tied to the ring menu system. They are definitely better graphically. I can't think of many other games on the system that have spells that are so visually impressive. Also, the opening Mode 7 intro is breathtaking as well. Truly an awesome spectacle that showed off the power of the Super Famicom. In all ways, this is a visual step up from Secret of Mana, and quite possibly one of the most graphically impressive RPGs on the system. In terms of storyline, Secret of Mana 2 is quite a bit darker than its predecessor. Each of the 6 characters has their own arc, and some of them are quite tragic. Kevin is the offspring of the king of the Beast Kingdom and a human woman. His unique offspring makes him something of a misfit, and he spends his time with Carl, a wolf pup he saved in the wild. However, a dark wizard called Death Jester soon undermines the Beast Kingdom and threatens everything Kevin holds dear. Hawkeye is a member of Navarre's Thieves Guild. The leader of the guild, Flame Khan, unexpectedly declares that the guild is to be a kingdom, which startles the inhabitants. When an evil witch turns out to be behind it all, Hawkeye is forced into a heartbreaking predicament. Duran is a bold swordsman from the kingdom of Forsena. As the son of Loki, a deceased friend of the king, he seeks to confront a crimson wizard that threatens the kingdom. Charlotte is the rebellious granddaughter of the Priest of Light. When our friend Heath is kidnapped by Death Jester, she sets out to save him. Reese is the princess of Laurent, Kingdom of the Wind. A fighting Amazon, she is taking care of her younger brother Elliot since her mother died giving birth to him. After Elliot is taken by evildoers and the kingdom is attacked by a mysterious force, she sets out for vengeance. Angela is the princess of the ice-covered kingdom of Altena. Her mother, Queen Valda, is brutally cold to her for her lack of magical skill. The kingdom is soon threatened by the Crimson Wizard, who persuades Valda to invade rival nations and claim their mana stones. What the game did so well with the story, I think, was reveal each character's motivations from the get-go. This made it easy to relate to the characters and progress through the world to accomplish their aims. Every character brought something to the table in terms of the story, and the lack of this characteristic was one qualm I had with Secret of Mana. The leveling system in Secret of Mana 2 is also slightly different from Secret of Mana. Killing enemies still grants each character experience, but in this one, leveling up gives the player a choice about where to allocate stat increases. On top of the class system, this was another supplemental way to customize your party the way you want to, an awesome feature. On some level, it compares to the skill system of Star Ocean, but to a degree of lesser complexity. Also, the game's inventory system and status screen were improved greatly. The new status screen gives the player more options for character AI customization, and a streamlined method to manage characters, equipment, and spells. Like its predecessor, the soundtrack of Secret of Mana 2 was produced by Hiroki Kikuta. His distinct flavor of composition is noticeable once again, and he provided his own sound samples and performed all of the sound data encoding. One of the characteristics that stands out the most is his use of rhythm and melody on the same tracks. From the outset, the game hits you with Where Angels Fear to Tread, an emotional theme of sorts for the game. I think the songs in the sequel are a bit darker and more mature than Secret of Mana's score, but some fans might not like it quite as much. Each area of the world has its own musical flavors, and the title's soundtrack of 60 songs made it one of the biggest on the system. Personally, I think this soundtrack is superior to the other games in the series, including Secret of Mana. RPG fans in North America that missed out on this game the first time it was released lucked out in 2020, when Square Enix remade the game completely. Released as Trials of Mana for the Nintendo Switch, Sony PlayStation 4, and Windows as a 3D remake of the original game, it retains most of the storyline, while providing an up-to-date experience. I haven't played this version of the game at all, but from all accounts, it was honorably done. Between the two though, I recommend the Super Famicom version, as that's the one that lured me in. As a fan of retro RPGs, the remake simply doesn't appeal to me as much. For younger gamers though, it very well may. If Secret of Mana 2 was actually released in North America in 1995, it would have absolutely gone down as one of the best RPGs on the system, and its name would be mentioned alongside titans like Chrono Trigger, Final Fantasy VI, and Earthbound. Its active combat, class system, soundtrack, and incredible storyline were among its best aspects, and it's still fun to play today. I think it's superior to Secret of Mana in every single way, and it's a true shame that most gamers didn't get to discover it until many years later. It still stands in my mind as the best game in the Mana series, bar none. If you like this review and remember Secret of Mana 2, leave a comment below about the most memorable aspect of the game to you. If you like my videos, please subscribe to my channel and click the bell below to be alerted upon the addition of new ones. Also, please consider supporting my channel via YouTube's Join feature to receive member exclusives, such as advanced videos and complete video transcripts.